Go.
What's up guys, it's Robert here and welcome back to yet another amazing video on the channel. So for today I got you a brand new updated version of a deck that we did quite a few years ago now. It is actually a trap Kozmo build that I've been testing out. Really been enjoying it, I think you guys will too. So without any further ado, let's get straight into this profile. If you do like this video, make sure you do leave a like and subscribe down below. All your comments will be read and replied to as well. So without any further ado, let's go straight into this deck. So, starting off with the main deck here, we of course have triple of the Kozmo Dark Destroyer, the heart and soul of the deck, the best monster of the Kozmo archetype. On summon, not once per turn, will destroy one monster in the field, and when he is destroyed by a card effect, because he cannot be targeted, but when he is destroyed by battle or card effect, he will basically banish himself from the grave, and then he will bring out a smaller ship from the deck. So 3 Dark Destroyer, in my opinion, is mandatory. You can also loop him multiple times in a turn if you have stuff like back to the front, so you send him to the grave, then bring him back, pop, and stuff like that. So very, very good card. The only other 3-of we play here is of course triple of the Kozmo Tin Can. This card is crazy, guys. It's basically a searcher. It is at random, but then it dumps 2 other Kozmo cards to the grave. So you could dump your Dark Destroyer, for example, and then if you have back to the front set, special back your Dark Destroyer and then trigger all their effects. So Kozmo Tin Can is absolutely insane, and all the little ones share the effect, that quick effect, they get to tag out into the big ship, so that's also really, really nice. For a 2-of here, we are playing double of the Kozmo Slip Rider. He is basically your MST on summon. He will target and destroy 1 spell or trap card on the field, and it's basically that, guys. Then when he's outed, he will float into a smaller one. So yeah, again, not once per turn. All of them are very, very loopable. Probably the worst Kozmo monster here, we got the Forerunner. I play him over the Dark Eclipser because Dark Eclipser doesn't actually keep your engine going. It basically just adds you a card, which I don't feel is that valuable as actually getting the body on the field. Then during your standby phase, you can basically just gain 1,000 life. There's been a time where in a time situation you can draw during the draw phase, activate your E-Telly, get a tin can or whatever, use its effect, tag out into your Forerunner, enter the standby phase, gain 1,000, and then win through time. So yeah, that's also very, very scummy, and that's another reason to play him. For probably the best pilot here, the pilots are the ones that tag out, is the Dark Lady. Basically, she's just, whenever your opponent activates a monster effect, pay 1,000 life points to negate destroy, and then she can basically tag out herself. So very, very good card. For the smaller pilots here, this is basically what you're going to be aiming for when you're going second, is basically summoning the Kozmo Farm Girl. In other builds, you do play 3 of her, but this is of course a going first build, so she's not that good. Basically, when she inflicts battle damage, pay 500 and add any Kozmo card from your deck to hand. So it's basically a rota when she inflicts battle damage. Usually search your big ships, tag her out, and then special the big ships, and continue going for the OTK. And for the last Kozmo monster, I play 1 Kozmo Strawman. I play him because we do play a LIOV Darkness in this deck, and it's basically a way of getting your banished ships to the field and then making them proc on the end phase when they are destroyed through Strawman's effect. So really, really nice card. We actually do play some hand traps here, and of course they are actually dark to synergize with Allure, which is why we're playing them. Just double Skullmeister and double DD Crow. I didn't want to play too many hand traps, guys. This is of course a trap deck, but I did feel like we were running low on dark targets for Allure, so I just added some hand traps that could potentially help. It doesn't really matter if you do banish them because you're going to be having loads of traps anyways, but these are the most impactful ones I could find. You could play Phantasme. I just wanted hand traps that are basically always live and don't rely on your opponent doing something from the extra deck. Moving on to the spells here, we of course have triple of your Kozmo Town. Why wouldn't you play triple of this card? This card basically can fix your hands most of the time. So what it does is when you activate it, it does nothing obviously, but then once it's activated, you can basically reveal monsters, Kozmo monsters in your hand, put them back into the deck, and then redraw. So that's a way of unbreaking if you draw a bunch of level 8s and high level monsters. And also once per turn, you can pay whatever amount of life points equal to a Kozmo monster's level times 100 and add it back to your hand. So that's really nice. If it is of course destroyed, it's basically also another rota, searches you anything. Really, really good card. For a 2-of here, and of course, fresh off the ban list, we have double E-Tally. This card's absolutely cracked in Cosmos. Basically what you can do is in the end phase activate it, get your tin, and you do it in the end phase to play around the effect veiler. Your tin can will search, and then basically when your E-Telly would destroy, you can just simply chain your tin can beforehand, summon your big guy, and then E-Telly won't destroy the target. So it's basically a way of playing through, and also getting your farm girl out in the battle phase to go for loads of damage and potentially win the game is also very, very nice. For the draw power here, we got double allure and one upstart. You can of course play Pot of Prosperities, it's just a bit expensive at the moment, and you can of course play your Pot of Extravagances, but the problem with that, with those cards, is you cannot draw cards after, which basically switches off half of your Kozmo Town's effects, which is why I'm not playing them, and also gives you more freedom in the extra deck if you don't play them as well. So I feel like this is fine. 2 allure, you can test out 3, but since we are, I think, only playing like 8 dark targets, 2 is fine, and then the upstart just consistency basically. So that is it, I believe, for the spells. Moving on to the traps here, we have triple of the trap tricks. Probably the best trap card because it just gets you all the other trap cards. So this card's only as good as the traps it can bring out, and the traps it can bring out, guys, are absolutely insane. So triple trap tricks is very, very nice. Actually playing triple, there can be only one because you're usually only going to have either one machine or one psychic on the field, and those are different types, so it doesn't actually conflict with there can be only one. Once your machine is outed, it brings out a new machine, so that's very nice. And if you do want to out it, you can just summon a Slip Rider and destroy it. So there can be only one is still absolutely insane to play in this deck. We got double of the Ice Dragon Prison, amazing card. I cannot praise this card enough. Absolutely insane against basically any deck. And of course, it's an out to Dragoon, bait the negate, and then boom, hit them with an IDP and get rid of it. So crazy, crazy card. Double of the Dogmatic Punishment. We have space in the extra deck, and usually we don't go into extra deck that often, so it doesn't really matter. Dogmatic Punishment is basically just a 2-for-1 because we usually send the Entis, and then we get 2 cards for the price of 1. Moving on to our other traps here, we've got the double Cosmojo. This card is also another Dragoon out. Basically, it targets a Cosmo card, Cosmo monster you control, destroys it, and then banishes 1 card on the field or in the grave, non-targeting. So that's really, really nice. And yeah, it's also trap trickable. We're playing double of the Storm Dragon's Return. If you guys don't know what this card does, it targets a card in the banish pile, a monster, special summons it, which is usually a Cosmo, triggers its effect, and then in the end phase it returns it to your hand so you can summon it again. Absolutely crazy. And then for the last 2 traps, we basically just have double back to the front. Used to be Call of the Haunted, but this is trap trickable, so that is why I'm playing that instead. That's it for the main deck. It is of course 40 cards, and now we'll be moving on to the extra deck. Moving on to the extra deck, for our only link 3 here, we are playing 1 Topologic Trisbana. Basically, when you summon a monster underneath a zone, she blows up all the back row. So if you're going against back row deck, basically just, you know, you can absolutely blow them out the water like this. We're playing the 1 Lina, because basically you summon Lina, steal a monster from your opponent's grave that's light, and then make your Topologic Trisbana, which is the only purpose she serves. And of course, if she is outed, she can search your tin can. So that's also a very good reason to play her. For our rank 8, we're playing a bunch of the Galaxy Eyes package. Basically, you make this guy with 2 of your Dark Destroyers, slap this guy on, destroy a card, slap this guy on, and destroy a card. So basically just 2 destroys, which I feel is actually quite good. We're playing 1 Ding, just to have another Dragoon out in the extra deck in case, you know, you don't want to be losing these random Dragoons at locals. That's why I'm playing Ding. We're playing the 1 Hope Harbinger, again just a spell negate, really, really good. For our rank 5s, because we have 2 Slip Riders at level 5, we're playing 1 number 16. This card can come up in time, by the way. Just destroy a monster and inflict burn damage equal to that monster's attack. Can just absolutely win you the game. 1 Artifact Durandal, sorry, not Dagda. Basically, you can make this card, and then once your opponent monster activates its effect, you can change it to destroy 1, and then you can basically just force them to destroy a Kozmo town like that and get a search, which is why I'm playing it. 1 Constellar Pallades, again, your Slip Riders are level 5 and light, so you can make this. Basically just to control the board state, and if you do need Slip Riders in the grave, for example, you have a back to the front set, you can just make this guy, and it's an easy way to get them back in the grave. We're playing the 1 Infinity, because we are playing the 1 Nova, so you make Nova, slap Infinity, and this is a Omni Negate, which is why we're playing it. For the fusions, we are playing 1 Entis and 1 Skull Knight, just basic best targets for your Dogmatic Punishment. Pops a card and pops a card when you choose. And for the last card we have 1 Side Frame Lord Omega, just because we can send it to the grave and shuffle back tin cans or Dark Destroyers to put it back in the extra deck. That's the end of the deck profile, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy my take on Trap Cosmos. Let me know any changes you guys would make. I feel like the deck actually works very, very well and doesn't break as often as you'd think because it's quite consistent. I have it very, very low ship count and just a lot of high impact cards that you can play. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you.
It's time! Let's go!